Hey, what if I told you that I could show you how to make money online without taking $1 out of your pocket, or you having to buy any media, or you having to have any of your own offers? What's up, guys? My name is Eric, and welcome to Performance Marketer Nation. Yeah, baby. Thank you for visiting this channel. I appreciate you being here. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now so that you can get all the videos when they come out. I think this is something that you can share with somebody, go for it. But today we're going to talk about how you can arbitrage media. Now you're probably asking yourself, what does arbitrage mean? So let me tell you a little story. I've been doing this for a long time, and as I've been telling people about what I do, there always seems to be confusion around what I do. Just recently I was in Boise going to a mastermind. Probably you guys listening to this would know Russell Brunson. If you don't, he's a genius. He created the word funnel. He's the category king of funnels. When you think of funnels, you think of Russell Brunson. I was in his mastermind years ago, and it was called Inner Circle. It's like 2 years ago, and he shut it down. Sucked. We were all upset. It was a bummer, but ultimately Mastermind was all around us being together, a lot of really smart, successful entrepreneurs in the same room, talking, collaborating, networking, giving each other ideas, helping each other, and ultimately coming out of these meetings with tons of ideas, tons of action items. After one of these meetings, if he measured the success from a meeting to 6 months later, millions and millions of dollars are made and generated. Millions, probably combined billions. It's powerful. And he shut it down, and I was upset. I was really upset. So when I heard that he was opening it up again, I was pretty excited. He did it a little bit different this time. This time he did it where he opened it up and he had a few different levels. So last time was the Inner Circle for Life. I spent $50,000 for the year to be in a room with a bunch of really smart entrepreneurs, about 100 people. This time it was now the Inner Circle for Life, which is still the $50,000. But if you qualified for his group that's a bit higher, he called this the Category Kings. I hemmed and hawed for about 17 seconds, and I said, I want to be part of Category Kings. Boom. They accepted me. 14 people in the group, very powerful people, really smart people. So we had our first event last 2 weeks ago in Boise. I gotta tell you, it was amazing. The energy being in a room with all these entrepreneurs that are like me, right? Just sitting there and I'm just soaking up information, and it's indescribable what it does. And you know, it's funny because I go to these things, as much as I learn from other people, what happens is when I'm in these environments and I'm talking to these entrepreneurs, things get triggered in my head that I already knew, but for whatever reason, haven't been thinking about. Something happens, someone says something, or talking about something, and then I come up with this idea, or something that I already knew and I remembered. It's funny, like I kind of, I was joking around about it, like it's like people acting as like your psychiatrist to just pull things out of you that are already inside of you that you already have. The thing is that if I was home, not communicating with these people, not in this room, that would never come out. The thing about this here is the group is called Category Kings, and what that means is there are certain industries where you say something and you think of somebody. When you say the word Kleenex, you think of a tissue, right? Or a Xerox machine is a copy machine. Those are brands. Like, it's not a Xerox machine, it's not a Kleenex. It's pretty wild, you know, when you think about it, on how they've been able to take a category and then someone identifies with that category as the brand name. In this scenario, when we're out there as influencers, trying to go out and help others and share the knowledge that we have with other entrepreneurs, we're all gunning for the same thing, trying to figure out how to find our voice, and then how to share our superpowers with the world. For me, it's all around now figuring out how to take what I know from inside me and package it, simplify it for entrepreneurs out in the world to now take what I know and use it to your advantage. As I was going through and I'm meeting people and walking around the room, people would ask me, what do you do? And you know, I'd simply say, like, I arbitrage media, lead gen arbitrage. And it was just funny, like, because people would look at me like I had 7 heads, and then I'd have to go into explaining what that meant. I was talking to a bunch of different people that were there, and once I dive in and I simplified what that meant, it was like, oh, okay, now I get it. A few people said this to me, right? I was walking the room, and Ryan Lee from Cashflow Tactics, we were talking about it and how we can work together and he can take advantage of what I have going on. He said something to me, and Annie Grace also, and they said, you know, you really should try to become the category king of the arbitrage world, like lead gen arbitrage, right? There's so many people out in the marketplace that are saying they're lead gen experts. For me, the challenge is how do I differentiate from that? How do I show you that what I do is different and it's a new opportunity for all of you out in the marketplace? And when they said that to me, it was really interesting because like, yeah, you know what? I like it. Lead gen arbitrage. I'm the category king of lead gen arbitrage. Lead arbitrage. What's cool about that is, it sounds like I'm smart. And I'm not. And that's the funny thing. I'm really not. I've decided that I'm going to go after it a bit and see if I can make that happen. You know, I'm going to try to talk about lead gen arbitrage more. I'm going to try to explain what lead gen arbitrage is. This is where we're going to do it. So we're going to talk about ultimately what I do, which is lead gen arbitrage. I'm going to show you 5-step framework on how I make money, how I do lead gen arbitrage, and we're going to go through it. So what I have here, I have it set up where I have a notepad in front of me, and I'm going to write some notes down as I think of them. I have a little presentation, very high level, for you guys to have a visual, because I know for me, I like to have visuals. So we're going to dive into it. But so, like I said, category king of lead gen arbitrage. That is what I'm ultimately going out to the marketplace with, so that people can understand it. The easy way to do it is to dive in and explain it to you. What does arbitrage mean? Some of the wealthiest entrepreneurs in the world don't know. Well, then I gotta explain it and simplify it for everyone. But ultimately, very high level, arbitrage is the ability for you to buy and sell the same asset for some sort of profit. That's the overall concept that I want people to understand here. Arbitrage can be done in anything, right? Like today, arbitrage is used on Wall Street. The framework around what I'm going to describe to you and show you, this 5-step process, is something that anybody in the world can do at any time for anything. It doesn't even necessarily have to be in a business. Arbitrage, high level, buy and sell of the same asset for a profit. So how do you do it? You take advantage of the price differences for the same asset, right? Right. So I got to find buyers and sellers, and then I have to make a market to ultimately buy it for X and sell it for Y. That's what I do. Right? Pretty simple if you think about it. We're going to dive in right now to who is an arbitrageur. Really anyone. We're all performance marketers, right? What does that mean, right? What does performance marketer mean? It means we're result driven. It means that we don't want to get paid as an agency. We don't want to get an upfront $5,000, $10,000 to work. No, thank you. I'd rather bet on me. I will deliver the result you want, and I will make a margin by arbitraging media. Make sense? Someone's willing to pay me something. I figure out how to generate that lead or that sale for lower than what I'm getting paid. And I do that online. Voila. Ultimately, you're taking advantage of the prices. So for me, I'm a lead gen arbitrage guy, right? I'm generating leads. I also will generate sales. But for this purpose, it's a lot sexier because you're able to go and generate cash flow, build a business where you're going to the top of the funnel before the user even takes out a credit card. So how do you do it? As you can imagine, there's a lot of moving parts. Someone that would be good at this is a deal maker. Someone that really loves to just do deals and go out and work it. You know, I love doing deals. It's fun for me. I enjoy it. I'm good at it. I know how to recognize opportunities. When you're arbitraging media, when you're out there and you're finding opportunities to take advantage of price differences, you're being opportunistic. And that's great. The reason why I've been able to build my business and be as successful as I am without having to take any money on is because of me being able to identify there's these differences in the marketplace, and then I'm able to come in without having to have 100 million people in my database, without having to go and build products or services. I didn't have to do any of that. The deal makers here are able to go and work it. So we're going to go through this process right now, and I'm going to give you the 5 steps of lead gen arbitrage. So this is my framework, okay? A very high level framework. So number 1 is you're looking to find buyers. You find demand. So as an example, you're looking for, let's say you're in the market for real estate, right? So here's the house. Well, you have the seller, and now you need to find a buyer. And then you have the real estate agents. Well, real estate agents could be looking for a seller or a buyer. So they would come to someone like me and say, can you help me out? Can you find a way to get me a seller? Or can you find me buyers? I have a listing and I need to find buyers in this local area. When you're out in the market, right, if they came to me, if real estate agents came to me and said they wanted that, two different audiences. If you find a seller and the real estate agent gets that listing, let's say they're selling that house for $1 million. And now the real estate agent gets that listing. They have buyers, they got the seller, they're able to do both sides, and let's call it 5%. What is the commission on that? $50,000 for the real estate agent. Now, yeah, their firm gets some money. Maybe they didn't find the buyer and they're splitting it, so now it's 50-50, so they're getting $25,000. Still, at the end of the day, it's a nice pay cut, right? It's nice. Very high level is how many leads will convert for this agent into them getting the listing, and how much did they spend to get those leads that then they back it out to that specific one, and they figure out what it is they can afford per lead, okay? Does that make sense? Done it before. Once I get into math with people, their brains go wild. So I'm gonna try to stay away from the math a little bit today, but just so you know, they're gonna figure out what the value is that they can afford for us finding a lead that is going to potentially, doesn't mean they are going to, potentially become a client of theirs, and they're gonna give them the listing of their home. Okay? And in that case, once they tell me what they can pay me, I'm gonna go out to the marketplace and do my thing. And number two, right? First, I wanna find the buyer. I wanna make sure there's market demand. Now, I need to identify an opportunity where I can buy and sell a lead for profit. Number one, find the buyer. Number two, where can I do this? Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that I have to find where they are as the only thing. There's more to it, right? We talked about there's a lot of moving parts. We definitely have to know, because we're doing this online, where are the sellers online? Not only do we need to figure that part out, but we also have to figure out if we're able to get traffic to generate the lead for the seller for less than what the real estate agent's willing to pay me. But the thing here, the arbitrage here, is where can we get this for less than what we're getting paid? Number three is you create an edge. So in this scenario, you got to figure out how to do this to get some sort of edge. So either one, you're going to get an exclusive deal with the real estate agent. The quickest way to become wealthy, quickest way to become rich, is to find something that already works and introduce it to somebody that doesn't know about it. It's pretty simple. It's not very hard, right? It alleviates a lot of work when you don't have to figure out what's working. You have the winning offer. Now you just got to find people that want it, that haven't heard about it. Or what you want to do is you want to control the traffic. You want to have a unique offer. So you can do like a co-brand of some sort. So rather than going out with the real estate agent's company or offer, you're going to go out with your own offer. The whole idea is when I go out to the market, when I go to the publishers that are driving traffic and I give them my offer versus the offer that I got from the advertiser, the buyer, they've never seen it before. It's unique, it's a new opportunity, and they're willing to run it. And that's the way that you create an edge. Once you do that, you create a market, right? This is the deal, this is the fun. Markets. And when you think of markets, like you could think of the stock market, right? A stock market is buyers and sellers, right? How do you create a market? Well, you ultimately find a buyer and find a seller. How do I create a market if I wanted to sell this Yeti cup? Well, I can go online and buy the Yeti cup for whatever this costs, I don't know, 50 bucks. If I can create a market for someone that's willing to buy this from me, then I can arbitrage this cup. But where's my edge? If I got it for 50 bucks online and I want to go sell it for 75, but they can go to yeti.com and find this cup for 50 bucks, where's my edge? I don't have it. There's no edge. So how would I do it? How can I make that happen? Well, I'd have to figure out how to get, in this scenario, a cheaper price for this if that's what I'm doing. But so the thing is that you got to find an edge to create a market. The beauty of our business, of the lead business, is there's always an opportunity. If there's companies in the world that are looking to scale their business and grow, because leads are the fuel that drive the business. You're creating a market, and you watch the cash flow just come in. And when you create cash flow is king, okay? When you're starting a company, you need cash flow. That's it. So I hope you guys understand this. This is what I do, lead gen arbitrage. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you think this is value add, share it with somebody. I mean, it's showing you how to make money. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys listening. I love when you guys, ask me questions. It's really helpful. I love helping people. If you want to join my text community, 917-636-1998. You just got to text me, and then you get added, and then we can shoot messages back and forth. And I'm curious, if someone listened this long, right, and you would want to be taught this, let me know. I'd love to know that you're interested in learning arbitrage. So, guys, that's it. Eric Beer, performance marketer, lead gen arbitrage, category king of lead gen arbitrage. Arbitrage, arbitrage, arbitrage. That said, I'm out. Go get some.